All right. What is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 4, episode 16. So, yeah, I was going to do this episode later on tomorrow, but I am going to do an episode of the Cloud9 podcast tomorrow. I just won't be doing an episode talking about League of Legends gameplay. I'll be actually doing a Cloud9 podcast focusing on all of the off-season rumors that ended up happening, that we've been talking about on the show consistently. So, I thought to myself, you know what, let's just have this episode tonight. And then I could obviously, just like last week, do my pick'ems right in front of you guys. We had the World 2022 Championship quarterfinals take place this past weekend. We had Rogue losing to JGD in a pretty convincing fashion. It wasn't even close at all. And T1 beating RNG 3-0. That was not what a lot of people expected. And I thought to myself, RNG could, at least if they lost, they would at least put up more of a fight than they did. We also had GENG versus Dan1 Kia. That was an absolute banger. That the distance, like I predicted, because they had battled each other throughout all year. And, despite GENG looking really, really good all year, like Dan1 was one of the few teams that would always go toe-to-toe with them. You go back and watch those LCK BO3s, they're going toe-to-toe with them consistently. One of the reasons why in the LCK 2022 Spring Split semifinals, GENG faced Dan1, and it's something that Dan1's been doing all year that I'll talk about in a bit, but, they've always went back and forth with each other. There's a reason why, because if you get first place in the LCK now, you can kind of pick your opponent out of who wins out of the quarterfinal matches, and GENG did not pick Dan1. Dan1 went on to face T1 back in the summer. GENG ended up facing Live Sandbox, actually. And then you also like Dragon X versus EDG. And I went back and I watched the games like I said I was. And yeah, EDG definitely were playing bad. But I think DRX were also playing good too. I think a lot of people were like vastly underrating DRX and, like thinking that there's some really bad team. But when you look at DRX, if you're comparing an LCK team to other really good LCK teams, well, yeah, they're not going to look as good. But this team compared to like pretty much anybody else, I guess it's fair game. People always say like the 6th best LCK team would like destroy like all the other teams in like the other regions. Well, DRX finished like 5th to 6th in the regular season and the playoffs. So yeah, they're actually comparable to everyone else in their own region. They look kind of bad, but to everybody else, well, that's just how it works, guys. Also, we got to talk about the insane amount of copium that people are on right now on fucking Twitter, because holy fucking shit. I've seen bad take after bad take after bad take. Holy fucking shit, man. But what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Man, it's crazy out here because I was surprised that DRX won the way they did, coming back. It's just every game was more convincing. Game 5 was damn near a blowout. I'm like, damn, Edward game no. It's like, because I'm thinking, all right, okay, these guys are adjusting, but it's like, I think DRX, they did come from the play-in tournament. That gave them more reps.
They started to just the playing teams are bad, but they got a chance to just scale up with the event. Because, coming in, no one really expected them to do anything. I mean, they're a 4th seed team. Now people have to understand, if the LCK and the LPL ever get 4 more seeds like they do, this year. Remember, this year they only got 4 seeds because of other things out of out of our control.
Yeah.
But people know they should be thankful that the LCK and the LPL don't get 4 seeds next year. I hope they don't, because it looks very, very bad for these Western teams. And I'm going to talk about something later on, and I know you talked about like casters for traditional sports too, because Riot did something really, really stupid. But I got to make sure I'm going to share the stream in a little bit. So if you guys are watching on the replay, make sure you share the stream, like, comment, do all that fun stuff. I'm going to go in there and make sure I put up the pinned comment, actually. Make sure I do that. And we're going to talk about some League of Legends, because after watching these games back, I was like, oh, okay, this is a little bit more different than what people like to pan out. Because I think people, when they do predictions, they're so in love with their prediction that if the prediction is wrong, they'll come up with every single excuse in the book, literally to justify why their team that they pick lost. It's like, dude, That's how predictions work, man. It's literally how that shit works. You're gonna be right. You're gonna be wrong sometimes. I went 2 for 2.
I went 3-1. The only one I lost was the last one. I was literally just perfect until that last. Because I'm thinking Edward Gaming looked good the first 2 games. I'm like, damn, DRX is looking real bad. It's like not real bad, but it's like
game 2. People realized game 2 DRX were pulling it back. EDG had an early game lead, but their comp actually was better. The game moved on, and then, that def play. Oh Lord, yep. Oh God, holy shit, that is just depressing. Holy shit.
I'm thinking I'm thinking in my head. Okay, DRX is done. No, because we saw how that happened. That T1 game 2, and T1 just. Oh my God! They saved it at the end and then go back and just I was like, and when it was like when you see that you're like, when T1 did that to RNG was just like, yep, we're done.
Yep, we're finished. No more of these games. Let's go home.
But but I think that's the difference between DRX and RNG. DRX is like
fortitude, yeah,
because RNG is like, okay, we're done. DRX is like, we still got 3 more games. It's like, I think that's different. It's like you could be like Kobe down 3-2 or LeBron James down 3-2. Like no, because LeBron might just be like, if they're down game 6, they're done. If Kobe's down game 6, oh no, we're gonna find a way to clutch it out, even if I gotta break my leg in half to do it. It's like there's some people that just have the mental fortitude to win.
Right, yeah. There are some players in League that you'll probably notice as you keep watching more years to come. It's like some players have mental fortitude enough to keep going forward. They'll bounce back. They'll be like, okay, that was the game. It's over. Nexus blew up on our side. It's over. It's done. Let's go. GG, next game. That's how I think a lot of teams should do it. I think what people need to understand, because I've seen, so many bad takes. And guys, I am a horrible human being. You know how I tell you not to read the whole threads of people's conversations? Yeah, I'm a bad person. I do. And to hear all the fucking takes of like people that will simply downplay a team just because they didn't have that changes, right? Your analysis, if you're being an actual analyst, has to change based off other information you're given. So yeah, coming into the event, DRX wasn't really that good by LCK standards, right? But as they've been scaling up with the event, they dominate the playing stage, which we know they were going to. They got into the group stage. They played pretty well in the group stage. They only lost to Rogue and Top Esports, teams that they were supposed to lose to because they're about on the same level relatively. Not on the same level relatively, but teams that you're supposed to lose to or that you're competing with against, you're kind of like, if you lose to them, I'd be like, okay. Then they got out of the group. They got out first place. They pretty much dominated week 2. Even week 1, they finished 2-1. Wasn't like they were fucking slouching. It wasn't like they fucking gave up all their games. They went into this best of 5 with EDG, and yeah, they definitely pulled it back toward the very end. The only blowout game was just game 5. Even game 1 was decently close. Like, most of the series panned out the way I thought. It was going to be 2 teams back and forth. No team really having an actual advantage. It's going to be, okay, whatever team just plays better on the day just plays better. I think Flandre played like shit. I don't know what the fuck he was smoking. He's smoking that Ching Chong crab or some shit.
The bot lane for EDG was just getting waxed.
Viper was supposed to be one of the best ADCs at the tournament, and you're thinking like, fuck, what happened? Like, because people would say he choked. He didn't choke last year when he won Worlds last year. I don't know.
But that's last year, though. That's last year. That's the thing.
He was in the finals in game 5 in Worlds finals. You're thinking like, is that choking or he's just underperforming? I don't know. Could be a combination of both. I
mean, both of them are the same. It depends on how you look at it. Underperforming is you never like choke is when underperforming is LeBron James 2014. Mm-hmm. Even though he played to his standards, he just didn't play as well as he did. Choking is 2011 final. And no, because when you play at such a high level and you're up a lead and then you just give it away because you're doing mental errors, Edward Gaming just they choked. He last
Viper legitimately choked. I don't know what he was doing.
underperforming. If he never stepped up to play, that's just underperforming because you're just not doing the thing. But you saw the 2 games he was performing in, and then it's like after game 3, like the floor just fell from under him. It's like when things like that happen, you start to realize it's like okay, maybe he's a great player, but the moment might just got too hot for him. Might got too tense. The team
He
around
might have
him.
not been feeling good that day. He might have wasn't in the right headspace. Because I'll let you know, outside of just mechanics, League is a pretty big mental game. And people got to factor in, they're the previous world champions. Okay, they're come from the LPL. LPL's been winning most of the world championships literally since 2018. They literally haven't won one worlds in like the last 5 of them. So 2018 FPX LPL, 2019 2018 is IG, 2019 is FPX, 2020 was DAM1, 2021 last year was EDG. So yeah, 3 out of the last 4 world championships, LPL been winning them, you know?
Yep.
And then this year, you factor in the pressure's even doubled because last year, people got to factor in, dude, against DAM1 last year, nobody really expected them to win. Like, I said it was going to be a 3-2 because I saw ways that they could actually challenge DAM1 Kia last year. But people factor in, okay, they were kind of like the underdogs going into that best of 5 last year, and they won it. This year, if you actually watch LPL games, I'm not saying you didn't, but, you know, people say they always do when they don't because their analysis is fucking garbage. They didn't really look that good in a lot of the games. They clutched it out when it mattered, but they didn't win any titles this year. RNG won spring, JDG won summer. They kind of really just got as far as they did because they were a squad that had already been together. They had already had their synergy issues all figured out. It's just they had a lot of issues, but I didn't think they would get exploited by Cloud9 and Fnatic. I was like, that's not happening. I don't care how bad they are. Those two are not going to beat them. And that didn't happen. They went 4-0 against, Cloud9 and Fnatic. And people factor in the pressure this year is going to be a whole lot different because people are like, well, can you repeat again? Now the pressure's on you. Now you're not the underdog. Now you're the guy who's expected to win, actually.
Yeah.
And you'll hear like league players on interviews going, yeah, I kind of like being the underdog more than the team that's supposed to win because it's just less pressure, on us, mentally. So, and you also have the LPL. I'm pretty sure you heard the caster talking about the LPL fan base. Yeah, they can be very vicious. If you don't win for them, oh my God, they're very crazy. So you factor in previous world champions. LCK is their biggest rival. They're coming in kind of pretty much the favorites, but you have the odds and shit like that. They were the favorites going in, even from predictions. They're the favorites, and they completely just broke down mentally. Remember Game 5, Scout is playing Akali and Zeka's playing Silas.
Yep.
His brain is fried. There was a play I saw him do. He was like by himself, shouldn't be even up in that position in topside. He just dies. He's like 3 levels down, like barely any see. I was like, Scout, oh no. I was literally watching a man's brain implode. Like, then why would EDG give DRX Silas and what? Silas is literally Zeka's best champion at this world championship. I guess they factor in if Scout gets Akali, it'll even out the matchup. But
like I said, they was on their back foot. It's like, what happens when you're up to it now? The team ties it. Now you got to start.
Remember, they were winning Game 3 too. EDG, go and watch the game. They were winning Game 3. They were actually at their inhibitor at one point. They played every team fight bad. I was like, damn. How are you the one about to win the series 3-0 and you're the one that messes up? What kind of shit is that?
That's what happened. That's what happened. Like, that's what happens when you're up right there and then you miss the game. Like, you missed the inhibitor, you missed the Nexus by like this much, and then that team comes back, they win. Now the momentum's in their court, and then boom, they win Game 4. Game 4 is like, all right, cool. That's
3.
No, I'm saying no. They win Game 3. Then they go to Game 4.
And now they win 2 games, and now EG's like, oh, we're about to get reverse swept. Now they're 2 up against us. Oh fuck.
Yep.
Now we're actually on the back foot.
But see, now it's not even Game 5. It's the last game because at this point it's like, fuck. Okay, this ain't looking well because now everybody's looking at you like you're the world champions, man. And the thing is, it's like champions get measured by how many times they can prove themselves. If you just
Right.
win once and you're done, it's all right, cool. That might have like when a champion just wins once and it disappears. Okay, what factors comes into them winning? In that case, it's like now people are gonna look at EDG like were they lucky to win last year or were they fraud? It's like you start, and that's not fair because like you can't you can't you can't determine what happens with other teams. You're going to determine what happens with your team. But now you start seeing these games, you start looking at them. You're in a sense where you have to go back and look at tapes. Like, damn, we really let this guy pick silence. We let him pick this champion when we could have banned him. We could have made him play.
It's a skill matchup. They think that they could draft enough to stop it, but no amount of drafting is going to stop Scout from running it down as hard as he did.
Yeah, it's like
he literally said, "I broke down Game 5." He literally was like, I think there was an interview that I saw online. He was like, "I just broke down." I was like, "Fuck, holy shit!"
Yeah, like
I feel, man, I feel genuinely bad when I hear that shit. I'm like, dude, holy shit, the pressure. That put fact on the pressure is on for teams at this level. It's much different having pressure on you if you're like an LCS team or an LEC team. It's like the pressure is 10 times higher for LCK and LPL teams. So you factor in last year, underdogs, they win. This year, they have a good amount of issues. JJ, like, that's the thing. People need to understand, like, it depends on how much you face up against another team, too. Because remember the group they had? They beat Fnatic and Cloud9 pretty convincingly, but they lost really convincingly against T1, a team that is supposed to be not only being on their level, well, that's a team you're competing with to potentially like win worlds. And people factor in, they got completely blown out by T1 both games. It wasn't even close. So, but they look good against the teams that they're supposed to beat. So you're like, okay, you look good against a team that you're supposed to beat, but you look really shitty against a team that's supposed to be competing with you for the championship. It's like, okay, so you're not really a good team. You're actually just a decent team overall. You're going to beat the teams that are worse than you, but against teams that are around your same level, you're just worse than, you know?
Exactly.
Because let's be honest here, dude. If Gen G faced EDG, they would just destroy them. That wouldn't even be fair. I think if they had faced any other team, maybe outside of Rogue, they probably win. Like literally, the only time I could see EDG winning after their series is just against like Rogue. They're not beating Damwon. People say if they faced Damwon, they would have won. Sure, they would have. Sure, they would have beaten Damwon.
I think EDG could have beat this team, but I think what it was is they got too comfortable with what happened the first two games, and then they just fell back, and DRX made the proper adjustments.
Right, yeah.
That's why it's like...
Well, it's the same. Remember that saying, dude? It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish.
Yep.
If you understand, that's a real thing. It's about how you start. It's about how you finish. Because first game, it was pretty bad back and forth. I think EDG played it out better. I think DRX was too feisty for a bunch of skirmishes they should have been taking. Game 2, EDG's favor. DRX pulls it back, and then it's that death play. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm watching this series, and I'm going, none of you guys are beating Gen G. Absolutely, you guys are going to get whoever advances from this round is going to get completely destroyed.
No, that's easy. Whoever comes out is like, all right, cool, we win. Just to lose to like, you'll be in the top 4. You'll probably get third or fourth place, but you're like, I mean, that's still a accomplishment. But like, Gen G's just sitting there like, okay,
man, we got to the finals.
Yeah, no, it's like back in the day. It was like whoever got out the East or East was like, oh, we made it to the finals. Oh, LeBron James team won. All right, we're going home. Okay, that's how. Like when I saw Gen G even go to 5 games, I've always felt like Gen G had control. It's like, okay, it's like, and then you see the way these two teams are playing. It's like I think DRX will be a better matchup for them against instead of EDG, because I think EDG will probably get smoked 3-0.
Yeah, because people need to understand this, though. You have to adjust your analysis and how you see a team with each series. Yes, DRX beat EDG, but people got to factor in, during those games, there's a good amount of chances EDG could win. Game 3, I don't know what EDG was smoking, what kind of crack they were sniffing, what kind of dogs' buttholes they were trying to eat because these people love to eat dogs or some shit. But fuck, man. They were on the inhibitor. Okay, they are the ones winning, and they're like, you know what? Time to go home early. Let's fuck off. Goodbye, everyone.
I think they was kind of making it serious. Like, fuck making it serious. Win. The fuck?
After game 2, because DRX, you could tell they were still kind of like mentally thrown off after that game 2. They were still kind of playing a little bit. They were playing decently bad in that game 3.
They were playing not to lose. They were playing to win.
Because they're fucking Piosik picked Kindred. Guys, Piosik is not a Kindred player. Piosik is a Sejuani tank player. Piosik as your main damage source? Are you fucking kidding me? I was like, all right, you guys are okay. To be fair, I respect it. Try something different. Try it out. Might as well. You're gonna think, because if you lose that game, you're gonna be like, maybe I really should have tried Kindred out, and it worked for them. The Kindred pick was good as the game went on, but like got EDG through that. Also, they threw the series because they messed up the team fight that they actually played when they were on the inhibitor turret. But yeah, once you lose a game like that, you're like, oh crap, because best of fives, guys, are also always about momentum as well. Momentum is a big thing, and mental fortitude. Now you win your game, you're like, wait a minute, we actually can do this. Maybe we can. Game 4. We won game 4. Oh, we can beat them now. Game 5, reverse sweep. Exactly. That's how it works. Now, the thing that you brought up with choking, I do agree with you. It's just, people don't understand the difference between choking and unperforming is more like, if you're the team that's like power ranked to win, and you perform like complete shit, that'll be like choking, right? Like, you're the one that has the people for you. You're the one with the odds, right? And I think you don't play like you're going to be good. Isn't that choking?
I think if EDG would have got swept, that would be underperforming because they just never came to play. Mm-hmm. But they were up in game 3 and then lose. And then you look, that's choking. That's
actually choking.
That's like being up 4 with 30 seconds left in basketball. And then you don't even go to overtime. You give up 2 late threes. Now DRX comes back, and then they win game 4, and then they convincingly win game 5. What? Had they, like, the best series I could say, Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks. And that's the thing, too, when you look at
Go back to it. That almost happened to the Lakers back when they won their last title. They were letting the Heat come back in all those games. There's a good chance Miami Heat would have won that series. They were dropping a lot of games for the very end, man.
I'm telling you, the issue was that the Heat had too many injuries. Last year, Phoenix Suns up 3-2. Shouldn't beat Dallas in 6. Nope, they go to 7. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. Dallas is up 30 at halftime. That's what happened. Like, EDG gave up game 3. All right, cool. You still got game 4 because the team that's up 2 games to 1, like the team that's on game point or match
more
point
to lose. Actually,
has more to lose. Like, all you gotta do is win 1, while the other team has to win whatever it's about to get back. And it's like,
yeah. So even if you have enough pressure on EDG like that, all you have to simply do is just win 1 more game. And it's not like they were playing that game well anyway. They played it perfectly fine all the way up to the point where they just threw out the inhibitor, and DRX are like, you know what? Maybe we can beat them. Maybe they aren't actually that good. And then when game 4, EDG's like, oh shit, maybe we're actually worse than them. We didn't do it when we needed to. Fuck. Yeah. Oh wait, we lost game 5. Oh wait, we're out. Oh, now they're gonna make us swim with the sharks. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. Because dude, people, oh my god, this league community, holy shit. It's like, guys, 2 things can be true at once. Literally, EDG underperformed, and DRX can also play well. No one will ever convince me with this year that DRX didn't play well. They actually played well. You might not like DRX. You might think that they're pretty shit compared to their placing from the LCK splits that for summer and spring this year. But at Worlds, they played well. They played considerably well. I mean, the thing here is like momentum. This team always needed momentum going in because they're really not that good by LCK standards. These players really aren't that good, You know what's crazy, dude? Barrel was on Damwon last year. Now Barrel's on DRX.
Damn.
Oh shit. Oh, so the stat that the casters brought up that no one really remembers. So back in 2014, Cloud9 faced off against Samsung Blue, and that was also against Deft.
Yeah.
Deft beat Cloud9 in the quarterfinals of Worlds 2014, the very first World Championship I ever watched. Every time Deft advanced to the quarterfinals, he always lost. 3-0s. I'm talking 3-0s here, people. Actually, 3-0. You ain't winning shit. The one series he almost probably could have won Worlds was back in 2018, and that was the KT versus IG series that's probably has gone down as best one of the best World Championship series area. I'm gonna say that series. Watch KT versus IG Worlds 2018 quarterfinals. That's like one of the best series ever. He loses that series with the KT roster super team. Then he's never won a best of 5 at Worlds since 2014, and that was against EDG. So back when Deft lost to Samsung White at the time, this was back when you could have sister teams in the league. Deft played for EDG. Deft played for EDG for a long time. He won LPL titles with the team. Deft is the first MSI champion, actually. EDG won MSI 2015. EDG's won everything. EDG's won MSI. They've won domestic trophies. They've won Worlds. EDG's won everything as an organization. They've literally won everything. Deft hasn't been... Deft has still been good. I'm not saying he's not good. But it's more like... He's never won a best of 5 at Worlds for like... He's only won 2 best of 5 at Worlds. And it's like, that's crazy. Like last year... Deft was with Chovy, with Hanwha Life Esports. They made it to top 8. They got knocked out by SKT or T1. That was to be expected. But it was nice to see Deft, perform very well and get over that hurdle. He finally got over that hurdle. Guys, factor in all those many years losing BO5s like that in the quarterfinals because his team would just underperform and get second place. They would face the best team out of like the other stronger groups and they would just lose. I was happy for him. I was genuinely happy for him. I think Zeka might be my MVP for this World Championship. He's played so well. Every game he's played well. I don't think there's been a game he's played bad at this point in time. And people say, well, why not pick Chovy? Guys, Deft and like Zeka is on DRX, a team that's not predicted to do anything or even win the championship. Chovy has ruler around him. I mean, yes, Chovy's also playing well, but like for me with MVPs, I like to value the guy that's bringing up a lesser good team because that's also impressive because League is not a one man game like it used to be, The factor in other teams have Faker, Zeus, Gumayusi, Keria, Owner on T1, all those. You have all of T1. Genji's got fucking Ruler and Doran and Layhands and all those guys. Dan Kia's got Showmaker and Canyon. Showmaker and Canyon have been like one of the best mid jungle duos since like 2019. Yes. It's like, look how much he has to actually do for this team to get them where they need to go. And people that factor in, I've chosen MVPs on, the best teams before, because in my own personal opinion, I think they deserve it. But looking at this tournament, if you might have to ask me, who would you pick as an MVP? Zeka. Like, look at what this guy has to do for this team. Look at all the stuff he does for this team, It's a bit easier when you have better players around you to do all these fancy things, Now, how about those players go to that team and do the same thing? I don't know about that. Chovy has proven that when he was with Deft last year. So I give Chovy that credit, Faker's only always been on SKT, but Faker's played really well this World too, And it's crazy how people have this narrative about the LCK. Oh, the LCK is so much worse than the LPL. Okay, let me just break this out for people. Just last year, fuck all the other worlds. It doesn't matter. Just last year, 3 out of the top 4 teams were LCK teams. The only reason why another LCK team wasn't actually all top 4 was because Hanwha Life got second in their group over RNG. That's the only reason why. There's a good chance all the top 4 teams would have been LCK teams.
Oh, God.
3 out of the top 4 teams last year were LCK teams. Genji, Damwon Kia, and T1. Okay? This year, Genji, DRX, T1. Now, if JDG win Worlds, people are going to go, LPL much better than LCK. 3 out of the top 4 teams were LCK teams. Are they that much better? Is it so far of a distance between them? Really? Is it? I mean, earlier on one of these shows, I specifically said, I am never putting a Korean team out of getting first in their groups until I see some results that they're going to underperform in BO1s at Worlds. Because people factor in, most world, if not all world championships, outside of like maybe 1 or 2 in the past, Korean teams have always get out first. Their playstyle is so consistent and they're so disciplined at what they do. That's going to work against teams who don't really have their shit together. You know what I mean? And then people are going to be like, but aren't they not as good? Doesn't matter. Unless your team can match them, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Their bars are too high. If my bar is up here and your bar is down here, it doesn't matter. If I'm bad against these other guys, I don't got to worry about you. Literally, there was one game separating all 4 Korean teams getting out as first place. one game separated that. And that was an extremely close game between JDG and Damwon Kia. Really? The LPL is that much better? The defending world champions lost every game to T1. Looked pretty close there between JDG and Damwon Kia. DRX got out first. JG got out first.
I think they're looking at it as the recent history of LPL teams
winning
the
when
world.
You win the title, people go, "Oh yeah, they were the best." That's it. That's how people do their analysis, dude. If you win the whole thing, you're the best. That's it. Like, dude, there were some years, that Laker year that they won before this one, 2010. Lakers weren't that good that year. There are a lot of issues with them, but they won. So people think that they were the best team that year.
See, plus they won the year before. Plus they went to the finals the year before that. That's why that kind of gives them, the goggles. That's like you look at it like, oh, LPL teams are just better because they have won. It was like, but no LPL team has won back to back. It's been LPL teams, but it's never been the same team back to back. I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
it's been FPX, IG, EDG, and who was else? Yeah, it's been it. Yeah,
has there been any team that won back to back World Championship?
SKT. They won 3 World Championships. They won in 2013 and 2015 and 2016. Okay. They're the only team that's been back-to-back. Samsung Galaxy made back-to-back finals. There's only been a back-to-back rematch, and that was back in 2016 and 2017 with Samsung Galaxy and SKT. That's when Ruler won his first World Championship. It was back in 2017.
Okay, SKT. All right. Okay,
SKT got rebranded to Team One.
Okay. Okay. Who won 2014?
Samsung White. That was with Deft, Mata, who was it? Pawn, Looper, and I forgot. Dandy. Yeah, Deft's the only player out of all those groups of guys that are playing now. That's fucking crazy. Deft's been playing there 8 years. Deft's been playing for so long, man. Oh, I feel so old, dude. Oh my goodness. Then the year that people were like, Fnatic won in season 1. That doesn't mean shit. That don't mean nothing.
I mean, it still does because they won. I mean, it's kind of like. It's kind of like, Knicks have 3 championships. Yeah, but one of them was back like when it was just white players. Like,
well, the thing with that, as you bring up, is when Fnatic won their world championship, there was no LPL or LCK teams there. China didn't have servers at that point. It was just an NA versus EU battle.
And we couldn't even beat them that fucking shit.
This was back when they had double elim too.
God damn it!
God damn it! Yeah. Oh my god. That's fucking crazy. So yeah, guys, that's Showmaker. That dude playing out of his mind. I felt so bad for him when he had to lose. I predicted GENG. I did. But my boy Showmaker out there just killing it this past weekend. That guy was putting on a show. Showmaker, no pun intended. Canyon. So the problem with Dragon Damwon Kia that I always had this year with them guys is you look at all their BO5s this year. They're clutch BO5s. They would pick these off champions when I don't get why you pick an off champion in game 5 when you were winning with just playing standard in the other games. If you want to pick a champion like that, like they've been doing all year, pick that shit in like game 1 against GENG earlier this year, dude. Kangen picks Nidalee in game 5 to get to the finals, and they lose. They face Damwon does this against KT Rolster. Earlier this year in Summer Split, when they face him, they randomly pick Heimerdinger and Senna. It's like, what the fuck? What is this? This series that they just played, they picked Kangen and Syndra, and they almost won that game. But it's like, why are you doing that? That's my biggest issue with them. They always coin flip the game 5 draft, and it's like, no, you try that shit like game 1 or 2. Don't do that shit at the very end. I'd rather you play something comfortable and stable in the last game to finish the series out.
No, you don't try that out. You try that game 3 if you're up 2-0. If it's 1-1, you might try that out, but you should never do anything like that when he did in game 5. You should maybe game 1 if you're trying to figure out how this team's playing, but not game 5.
Yeah, like I didn't mind the Kane pick. I didn't, but it just imagine if he was on any other like damaged jungler. Imagine that. And then we're gonna watch the series right now. Let me go to my highlight reel channel that I watch. We're gonna go over the DK versus GENG series. So let's run down all of them. Okay, so Rogue lost to JDG. That's not surprising. People are like, oh yeah, I predicted Rogue to lose against JDG. No shit, Sherlock. Most 99% of the world did.
Yeah.
I mean, easiest predictions in the world. There was really nothing that Rogue could do, honestly. Everything they something we talked about last few shows is like at this World Championship, it just feels like the LCK and LPL teams just suffocate the Western teams in their playstyle. They can't get any advantages. They know exactly what they're going to do on the map. It just feels like all the plays are telegraphed. Like they know exactly what they're going to do every single moment of the game, guys. Go back and watch those group stage games. It feels so suffocating.
No offense. Watch it NA games and watch a few EU game, LEC games. They kind of do the same things. They just,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. It's like if you do the same plays, but you just put champions in different places. Like, okay, we're gonna have the top laner switch over here, put the middle laner on top of it. It's like I can see what you're doing. It's like okay,
but now you're not really doing anything different. You're gonna play the exact same. It's just what's that saying? It looks the same. It's just polished differently.
Yeah, it's like okay.
Oh shit.
And the NA teams don't even get me started on them.
We'll talk about them later. Because holy fucking shit, they blew my brains out. Also, people were simply cheating on Canyon because he lost to Peanut. Guys, let's not. Oh, God, I hate people. Why are we playing revisionist history when we just saw these games? Okay, I can understand playing revisionist history if you didn't watch the event, you weren't there at the time. Understandable. Not everyone's going to be watching at that current moment in time. Understandable. Fair. People are playing revisionist history when we just watched these games. Canyon butt-fucked Peanut with a butt plug and a stick, okay? Canyon destroyed that guy, okay? Canyon completely destroyed Peanut. Yep. Peanut is not the reason why they beat Damwon. If you think that, I will never listen to you in League analysis ever. You are on drugs. Yeah, Peanut was the real decider against the GENG versus Damwon series. What? You gotta factor in. This is a team game, but it was shown that Canyon's a one-man team. Yep. Showmaker and Canyon have been literally one of the best mid-jungle duos in the world, and this series definitely proved that.
Yeah,
series definitely proved that, and Canyon played absolutely out of his mind. People are like, well, Peanut won, so how is Canyon better? Okay, all right, so what? You didn't watch the games, so you didn't watch. That's how you can tell motherfuckers who watch these games. That's how I can tell you to watch these fucking games. So he's better because he won. All right, okay, let me get the fucking chair and just throw it on the fucking wall. What the fuck? How does it make sense to any of you? He won the games. I mean, that game? What about that Wukong game where he beat the shit out of him? What about the game the first GENG? What about the game where Damwon played Kane game 1? He looked pretty good. Canyon's pathing was amazing. What are we talking about here? What about the game where Canyon played Viego? We don't talk about that one, do we? Remember that game Canyon played Viego? He got those kills early on in game 4. Remember in game 4 where he went up there and got those 2 kills? Peanut was like, all right, I'm done. I'm finished. Peanut was telegraphed with his yanks. Canyon knew he'd walk up there. He knew he'd go up there. Anyone that says fucking Canyon is worse than Peanut, you need to sniff drugs. Just stop watching League. Go fucking watch competitive Fortnite or some shit because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The fuck out of my face. We're like, oh, he won though. Oh, okay. Tell me what happened in the games, please. I'll elaborate me what champion that they played. Good fucking God. All right, so what are the Showmaker? This man just knows how to put on a show. So in game 2, the only reason why they're really relatively in game 2 was because of Showmaker and Canyon. I don't agree with putting Canyon on tanks. Putting Canyon on tanks just doesn't make any sense. Because, dude, you know how fucking you have like this really big carry jungler in some of these teams, and then their coaches draft them tanks? It's like, why? You just gave up a bit of your carry potential doing that. What are you doing?
Honestly, I was trying to figure out.
It makes sense to give Peanut carry like tank junglers. You don't really always want to give him carry junglers unless you really need to put him on a carry. You want to always make sure Canyon is on a carry. Always. Go into like your tier 2 picks. I don't care. But right here, it was this game. I think it was this moment right here where, it was this moment. This moment was awesome. Okay, so right here, GENG were winning a team fight. They chased them down. GENG has Yumi. Then right here, Chovy's like, okay, I can flank. He was on Yone. He was like 6-0. Showmaker blasts him over with the blast cone because he know he's coming right there. And Canyon dies. Then after that, right here, you have Showmaker just putting on damage. He shifts over, kills Ruler, then ends up killing Yumi right there. That was... Look at all three things he just did right there. He stopped Chovy from coming in. He killed off the bot lane, and their game is still safe for them. They lose this game, but it doesn't really matter at that point. You know, just highlighting all these plays. So right up, Peanut's better than Showmaker, right? All right, let's watch this early game pathing that Peanut's doing. All right, because Peanut's better because they won, right? Okay, right here they pick Viego for Canyon, and they pick Sejuani for Peanut. This is game 4 when Damwon have to win game 4. Okay, so. Yep. In this game, right here, so Peanut knows in the Renekton versus Gnar matchup, Renekton has to get ahead of Gnar because Gnar can just cut Renekton out. Gnar is just going to kite him out. And if Renekton doesn't get ahead, it's done. Peanut knows he's going to go there. Not only did he see him because he was invading, and Peanut's like, you know what? I'll just go in game. But Canyon knows you're there. He knows that Doran's low. They're setting up a dive. So Doran's like, okay, I'll just play safe. And right here, they get 2 kills. Peanut's so much better, right? Peanut's so much better. I don't know about that one, boys. And this game was all Canyon. Canyon had that amazing Graves game against JDG in the group stage. This series was just absolutely amazing. This last game right here was game 5, DK versus GENG. GENG's actually winning this game. The fact that Damwon even found like a lane to come back in this game was just crazy to think about. No, I'm not going to play Gods Unchained. No, I'm not. So right here, GENG should have never really been in this position because they were actually winning this game pretty convincing. They were up what was 8,000 gold right here, but Damwon.
No, it was only 5,000 gold.
It was 5,000? My bad. Okay, yeah, you're right. But, so they're only up like 5,000 gold.
It was up 2 Drakes. I know they destroyed all 6 turrets. Like tier 1 and tier 2 turrets, they destroyed those at that time, I believe.
So right here, I don't know why you really pick Kayn here. I really don't. I have to go back and look at the draft for a moment. So where's the draft? Let me see. So I don't know why they picked Kayn. Unless they had an actual strat for it. Unless you have an actual strat for it, then sure, but I don't really see why. I think they drafted
at like the 29-minute mark. For game 5, right?
Yeah, let me go back and look at it right now.
No, sorry. A little further.
Okay, let me see me a sec. So that's this is game 5. Okay, so back.
I'll say 27, 26.
Right here, yeah. So game 4, Showmaker pulls out LeBlanc. Don't know why he got LeBlanc in this game, but sure. Every game Canyon got a carry, he won. Both games he got Viego, he did really well. And I understand you would give him Kayn because Kayn does a lot of damage and can really isolate and target the backline and assassinate them. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. But he lost all his games with Kayn. He'll pick champions like that, and he doesn't really win too often on them. Both Kayn games in this series, he lost. All right, so obviously Damwon's going to ban out Graves and Viego.
Yep.
I don't agree with the Nidalee ban. I don't know what that's there for, but they're like, oh, well, Kayn is not going to pick Nidalee in a game 5. No one's gonna pick that shit. They banned. That's 4 jungle bans against Canyon.
Yeah,
that's 4 jungle bans.
I think the Nidalee ban made sense. Because I know Ken went with Renekton. Was it Renekton, Lulu?
What they should have grabbed was Jarvan. I think Jarvan would have been a better pick because you could have had Jarvan just lock down Lucian Nami with his ult or his cataclysm, and you have Syndra, Burst, Kayn all in. Outside of Jarvan, who else could they have picked? Who's the other junglers in this meta? Because they already took Sedge, so they took. That's the option they had was Kayn. I don't know why they pick Kayn here. I mean, I would have probably flexed Wukong jungle.
I think Kayn is where Kayn kind of made sense is that. Because you look at it's like as long as they had it's like because when you look at DK's draft, you're like, okay, that makes sense to a certain degree, but it's one of those things where you really have to start wondering, okay, how do we play this?
It's all early game focused. They're basically just you ever heard that saying the casters talk about win lane, win game? So they pick a bunch of lane winning champions. The only champion that doesn't necessarily win lane is like Aphelios, because Lucian has a little bit better of an early game. But if you don't really destroy their bot lane by a certain amount of time, then Lucian Nami just scale up better. You know? But as the game scales, Lulu and Aphelios are going to do a lot better. So like Lucian Nami do better early on. Aphelios and Lulu do better later on. You have Renekton against Gnar. You're like, oh, okay, we'll set up the dives with Renekton. We'll have Renekton chunk out Gnar in mini form. Kane will go up there, and Kane will just, we'll just dive them consistently. The problem here is that GENG took Sejuani. It's not going to really happen too often. And a lot of in fact, put the factor in. Victor has insane wave clear as the game moves on. Just kind of felt like every time Damwon got an advantage, the wave clear never really was in their favor. Also, this was the smite that everyone was talking about, right? Okay, so Kenyon was gonna smite this. Oh no, that was when they killed Naguri. Oh, that's when he got the kill. Yeah, Naguri was playing out of his mind. These guys are playing out of their minds. So right here, I'm pretty sure this is the smite play that everyone was talking about.
Yep.
What was the game where everyone was saying he went in and smited and he lost the smite? My dude is chunked out. At least he had to go for it. I mean, what do you do? Like, okay, so yeah, Showmaker dies right here. Doran is getting kited out by Gnar. This was just a bad team fight for them, all things considered. I don't know why they actually were there. But then as the game moves on, it was up right here. They got a great team fight. See, this is why maybe GENG might drop a game to DRX, because people don't understand, if DRX get a lead, they close out the game. They're very, very precise at that. So GENG should not be giving any openings to DRX if you want to go to the finals. So right here, you have Canyon coming in, knocking up 3 people. So that, like, if that's the value of the Kane pick, is going in and knocking up 3 squishies, that's fine, because Kane does really well against squishies. So the Kane pick has its uses. I just don't know if you could have picked something else that did the exact same thing, except you also were a bit tankier too, Yep. That's just my thing. I mean, I don't mind the Kane pick. I don't, but it's more like, what could you have picked differently that could have did the exact same thing? Like Wukong, you're tankier, you're knocking people up, and you still have damage. And you could also get in and out, in and out of team fights too. So after this was a team fight right here, was the whole, this was the last team fight of the game where you had the quadra kill by Ruler. Okay, so Damwon forced them out. Canyon is doing his best to knock up 2, because James, he said that you had a Lucian with cleanse and flash. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, Canyon should not be wasting all of his mana just trying to knock up the tanks. What Canyon should do his best to get into the back line like he did before. He has flash. He could flash, knock up Lucian and Nami right there. I think Deathbomb uses his ult way too early right here, and it's not, they can't win this. Victor already killed Canyon. That's going to be most of their damage against the squishies right there, because they need Kane to survive to knock up in order to get the rest of their damage going. But Kane doesn't have any mana right here, as most people see, so he can't do anything. And he spent most of his mana knocking up a Gnar and a Sejuani. So if anyone doesn't understand, if you don't have enough mana to do the rest of your combos as Kane, you're not gonna not really be doing anything. And this is the play right here. Guys, Peanut just smited better here. That's fine. Peanut just smited better. Then you see right there, right here, he goes over the wall. He wastes the last of his mana on a knockup. It's like, he could have just waited for that. He ults for no reason here. He can't kill him. And then that's the misplays that what Canyon was doing. He doesn't need to ult here, guys. Why is he ulting? He doesn't need to ult here. Why do you ult? You can't kill them. You do the Kane ult to get an instant kill, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen against a tank. What is that? That's why I said he didn't play very well on the Kane pick. Why is he ulting? There is no reason to ult right there at all. Because Peanut doesn't have his ult, and neither does Gnar. So you're like, okay, they don't have their ults. I could just bait some more summoners. They already flashed, though. It's like, what are you doing? So Kane doesn't have his ult. Kane doesn't have any mana. Kane's their main damage source to knock up 3 squishies. And if he's dead, it doesn't matter. Then Canyon is like, you know what? I'll just flash in. It's like, what are you doing? What the hell? And then and Showmaker's gone. Showmaker literally had nothing. His flash was just about to come up, and Lucian literally was just sitting there. Lost mana. That's it. So yeah, I think Damwon Kia really played the last team fight very bad. That was very bad from them. And you could call it choking, you could call it whatever you want. That's just bad gameplay. No reason.
I think they got outclassed. I think that whole thing was a back and forth, and like GENG just got the last hit. Sometimes you get that one last hit and it's done. Like,
some people were like, "Oh my god, the series was so." The series was good. I'm not saying the series wasn't good at all, but there was some bad plays these teams were doing. Now these are obviously against each other, which is much different.
yeah.
But to have a Kane go in and waste all his abilities just to really get nothing was just disgusting. I was like,
exactly.
Fuck. Guys, I watched these games very closely. He was playing not that good that game. He had the nice little plays that brought them back into the game, but also putting Showmaker on Syndra, I think was a mistake. I get why you do it, because if you use your Scatter the Weak, you can stun 3 people. I get it, but you could have just given him a Zero. Imagine Showmaker being a Zero right there, just poking people, then ulting them in. Gets the same thing done. Why not give him a champion like Twisted Fate, Cassiopeia, Zoe? Where's these champions at? I just don't understand the Sylas. Not the Sylas. I don't understand the Syndra pick. I don't think it offered anything. Why not pick Ryze then? If you want to lock down 3 squishies, why not pick Ryze? Why not pick Seraphine mid? There was so much things they could have did, actually. But that's my thing against Damwon Kia and GENG. Great series, guys. It just, there were some plays that I definitely wanted to go over. Hi, I'm Crazy People. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Look, last year's World of Format. EDG was, EDG won. EDG was the only Chinese team, the 3 Korean teams. Yeah, you're right. How you been doing? I missed you. How you been? Good. So what's the next series? Next series was, we talked about DRX versus JDG, right?
Yep.
EDG. Oh my god. DRX versus EDG. Okay. So people are gonna be like, why don't you go over the T1 versus RNG series? Because it's you don't really need. I mean,
in due time, we'll talk about all the matches, but trust me, those first 2, the Thursday and Friday matches, if just the games alone were under 2 hours. Like that felt like a rush hour movie.
First side of the bracket is just 3-0. The next side is just going the full distance and shit.
Yeah, but then you think about it, T1 crush RG. It's not surprising. You're just surprised it was 3-0. Rogue. If anybody said Rogue could have got one game off JDG, it's like, I see me.
My dad coming back. If Rogue can get a game off GDG, my dad.
Me saying that as someone who's just looking at the game from an outside perspective, would say any team could win if you play great enough. But it's like, but at the same time, there's a power scaling. Like that's why. What was it? Since 2013, there hasn't been an LEC or LCST win Worlds or even get to finals.
The only LCS team to ever get to a World semifinals was Cloud9 back in 2018.
Okay, and
TSM in 2011, but
that's 2011. That's what it was. That was when it was LCS versus LEC. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the T1 RNG series. Yes, I stand by my prediction. I thought they were really strong, but I also said if RNG lose, I'm not surprised because T1 playing really good. T1 looked really strong, actually.
I picked T1. Pretty much the only player I knew out there was Faker because that's. I remember everybody kept saying it was Faker versus Jesse. This kind of.
Oh yeah, the big rivalry. Yeah, T1 versus RNG is the biggest international rivalry. They've always faced each other.
Is it really a rivalry if it's one sided? You got
some years. Earlier this year, RNG beat them 3-2, and then right now they beat them 3-0. It's like it's very back and forth between them. I think. T1 has won more series. I remember when they used to play. T1 has definitely won more series against them because they won in 2016 against them. Both times at Worlds and MSI. 2017 RNG wasn't there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure RNG's lost more series to them. I'm pretty sure the only time they've really beat them in an actual series was this year, actually. Because the other series they for sure lost. But they've always faced each other in group stage too, Yeah. So they have group stage wins too. But no, T1's always been the more clutch team. In fact, I think the LPL is good, but the LPL teams coin flip. They take a lot of risks. And that could be good and bad given who you talk to, but the LCK teams they're very textbook, they're very consistent. They're like, nope, we don't really take too many risks. There'll be players that will take risks, but it won't be like a big risk. So like a risk would be something like let me get my mouse cursor here. So it'd be like Gumayusi just like flashing in and ulting. Yeah. Not really gonna do that. They're only gonna do that when it really benefits the team to actually win a team fight. You know what I mean? They're not gonna like you have Jackie. You remember Jackie Love just going in and doing all those crazy plays? You won't really see a Korean ADC do that stuff. They're gonna just be like, okay, I'll just wait until it's the best opportunity to win the team fight. I'll just save my abilities. Now, I don't think the LPL is bad. I don't, but this has been a consistent thing with them. They're very hyped going in. They're good. They're not trash. They're good. It's just either they choke against the LCK or
they take too many unnecessary risks.
Yeah, they take too. And that's just the way you would see it. They take way too many unnecessary risks. There was game 2. I remember RNG's actually winning game 2. It was pretty close. It was like, oh, okay, you kind of bringing it back here, and then no, and then it's just no. Like I was just surprised this was 3-0. I thought this was definitely going the distance. I don't know what happened.
After game 2, I knew it was okay. This is gonna be a sweep.
Gumayusi stepped up. Most players on T1 have been just playing good. They've been playing really solid. So they play off against JDG coming up this weekend. I think it's gonna be a GENG T1 finals, and if that's true, we would have had the LCK spring and summer split finals this year be GENG versus T1. Wouldn't that be insane?
Insane, it would be insane.
That means those are like the best teams in the world. You have to look. Okay, those are the best teams in the world. They have to be. They finished back-to-back finals for both splits, and they went back-to-back for Worlds. I mean, that's pretty good. And I know Warren's be like, well, people underestimate RNG. No one underestimate RNG, really. They just underperformed.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Like, I don't think they're even like that bad, all things considered. I think they just underperformed in the series. I think Xiaohu had a uncharacteristically bad series against Faker. He's always been pretty good in the Faker, all things considered, But people got to factor in. Doesn't really matter what happens a few series ago in the past or even a few years ago. Matters what happens right now. He didn't play good in this series. That's not to diminish all his accolades or anything like that. It's more like he didn't play good in the series. You could chalk it up to underperforming, choking, just not being good in the day, whatever have you. Now, but RNG is not a bad team, but against T1, they're just worse than T1 right now. So that's how I see it personally. All right, let me go to my pick'ems, and we're gonna do the Worlds 2022 semifinal pick'ems. I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm gonna pick, so I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna let that be a secret.
Yeah, cause I already picked my teams.
Pick'ems, let's go.
Pick'ems.
So starting at 2 p.m. for both series. Okay, cool. All right, let's go, bruh. 18%. T1's going to the finals.
Yeah.
Faker is going to the finals. Last year, they were stopped by Damwon. And this year, I don't think... I mean, there's a world I could see this going the distance. There's a world is like the bar for what I would consider to beat. If you can beat... if people really have this hard on for this guy, I don't think Yigao's been ever that great. He's literally a better version of like Bjergsen and Jensen. If Bjergsen and Jensen did a fusion dance and they fused together, that'd be Yigao, honestly. That's who Yigao is. But Yigao's always been worse than Rookie, Doinby, Knight. Is Yigao better than Knight? I don't think so. That's just me personally. I'm picking T1. Because against JDG, what did JDG learn from beating Rogue? Nothing. I don't think JDG learned anything from beating Rogue, honestly. I think when you're looking at this series, you're looking at the fact, let's go down. Zeus versus 369. Pretty even matchup right there. I think it could go either way. I'd probably give that favor to 369, honestly. Then you also have the jungle matchup. You have Kanavi versus Owner. I think that goes to Kanavi, actually. You have Faker versus Yigao. I think Faker owns that matchup. You have Hope and Missing versus Kyria and Hope and Missing versus Kyria and Gumayusi. I think T1's bot lane wins that, honestly. I think they're just stylistically better than them. I think JDG have positions on the map that are a bit better. And I think if Kanavi can play as well as he did against Rogue and in the group stage, I think they have a good chance of winning the series. Only off Kanavi and 369. Only them.
Yep.
If those two don't play well, this team loses. They literally, and I mark my words, and I know it's going to happen because my prediction, every time I predict something, it always goes the opposite way, but I always make sure to always say the other opposite thing too. If JDG win the series, it is off the back of Kanavi and 369. I promise you. So that's why I have T1 winning. T1 is just stylistically just better. They match up better in their style. I think they don't take too many unnecessary risks. I think they'll just be better in most matchups anyway. DRX versus GENG. Yep, I'm going with that.
You go GENG. Right now, I got DRX. 2, I watch more video.
I have T1 beating JDG 3-1. I have GENG winning 3-1. I think both series will be 3-1 in T1 and GENG's favor.
Okay.
I predicted GENG to win Worlds anyway, so.
Oh, okay. Who did I pick? Okay, who did I predict to win Worlds? Because I was
3. Oh, I 2-2. God damn it, son of a bitch. The odds were really in T1's favor, but man, my copium levels were over 9,000.
Dude, you won't believe who I picked for Worlds.
Who'd you pick for Worlds?
T1.
Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit?
I literally went like, all right, cool. Who's the one player everybody wants to win? And I said T1.
Which team will win Worlds? GENG.
Yep.
God damn. Which one did I get? Champions complete. Oh, Warren. Shout outs to Warren. He got me to pick all these guys. Shout outs to Warren. I picked all these guys because of him. Oren wasn't seen that much though, honestly, but everyone else was pretty fine, honestly. I got most of these right. How many reverse sweeps? Oh, I got that one wrong. Oh, fuck me.
I think I got.
Who predicts 2 reverse sweeps? Who predicts? Because Worlds has only ever had 1 reverse sweep before this. 1. So I was like, nah, it's gonna be none. Bruh. Highest KD at Worlds, always Chovy. I knew I should have picked Chovy. Warren convinced me to pick Viper. Bruh, I've never listened to Warren ever again. KD.
I was literally just, I didn't know how to pick that one. I
literally had it wrong. Chovy should be highest KDA.
Dude, I picked Viper too.
Bruh.
I literally was just
picking. You sniffing that Warren crack? Dude, I was sniffing that Warren crack.
I said who would get the most kills in a single game world. I don't know why I picked Faker. Like literally, if Faker was the only person I knew, I was just all right. Let me just. I think
so. You have T1 making the finals. That's dude. It feels like it's gonna be a GENG T1 finals.
Yeah,
that's what it really feels like. If it's a GENG T1 finals, holy shit, GENG would have literally went from an LCK org not winning a damn thing ever.
I said what would be the duration of the longest single game in the world? I said between 50 to 55 minutes.
That work? Did you get that right?
I think
you were close.
Yeah, I'm close.
The longest duration of games between worlds. I picked 45 to 49.
Nah, cause there's already been close to a 50-minute game. Close.
It was the fuck. I forgot. It was one of the games in the group stage, actually. I forgot.
Yeah.
Guys, that's it. I think T1 and GENG are making the Worlds 2022 finals, actually.
Yep.
But who knows? Who are you guys picking? JDG? You guys got JDG? I don't. I'm not on crack, actually. So, yeah. Who makes the 2022 League of Legends World Championship Finals? GENG would have went from literally rebranding from Samsung Galaxy. Well, a new ownership group brought Samsung Galaxy in 2018. That's when GENG first appeared in the LCK. They've won no titles up until this year, last summer. And if they win Worlds, they would have went from an org that has won no titles to winning a domestic title finally and winning a world championship. What a crazy upside that would be.
Yep.
But hey, we'll see how it plays out, boys. We'll see how it plays out. Who makes the finals? Who gets the finals? Holy shit. All right. I'm going to the bathroom really quickly. Just need you to talk for a little bit, okay?
Yeah. Like, the big thing that's, like, when it comes to, like, League, I really don't know anything. Like, the reason why I was, thank you, Ryan. The reason why I was I was predicting who I predicted. It was like, okay, I'm looking at the games. I'm looking at who's probably the most polished champion. Everybody's telling me Faker. I was like, all right, cool, Faker. All right, I'll choose whatever Faker's doing. Because it's like, all right, cool. I was like, T1. He's on T1. All right, cool. I'll bet it on T1 because it's like I'm not gonna bet on anybody else. Plus, I was watching a good ton of the games because I was watching the LCK reruns on Twitch. I was just watching those. All right, I was watching some LPLs, but mostly LCK. I was like, all right, cool. This Faker guy's cool. You know, he's doing a lot of good stuff. Boom, knocking it out the park. And then that's how I just say, all right, cool. Like, I think that's like the one person I'll automatically root for, in a sense. And then that's how my picks came to me. I really was just like, okay. But yeah, like I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally just picking, like,
All right.
I'm literally just picking whatever right now.
I just killed a fly like that old dude did in the Karate Kid.
Oh, that's crazy.
Fuck. I have hand-eye coordination precision. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about before we head out tonight is there's going to be no LCK casters casting the World Championship 2022 semifinals. Okay, so then people were like, but the LCS casters are good enough, right? Because if they're not good enough, then they shouldn't be. Guys, no. Okay, let's just break this down to a minuscule level.
Yep.
The LCS casters do not watch as many games as the LCK people who cast and watch the games live, okay? They don't do it. I don't care what they fucking say, they don't do it. There's no way. Because first of all, they have to watch all the LCS games, prep for all the LCS games, do analysis for all the LCS teams, all that stuff, right? Now, we'll just break this down very, very piece by piece, because this was a comment that I got, and I'm not applying these fucking idiots anymore. All right, so Riot is not a great company, guys. They're not great, okay? They also are very, very vindictive, and they make really, really stupid decisions. Now, the English broadcasts for the LCK and the LPL have more viewers than the LCS. So the English casters of the LCK and the LPL bring in more viewers than the LCS. So why not have the LCK and the LPL English casters cast for the World Championship finals consistently? Reason why I don't know why they don't, because most people know the LPL and the LCK are always going to be making to the top 4, or at least the finals, or guaranteed top 8. So you're going to have people like Freak and Azale and Kobe. I like these guys. I like these guys, but they don't. It's a different thing to cast these games, know the players, watch their games, than it just casting them without really much knowledge. I know they're going to do their research and prep, but that's not going to be the same, though.
Yep.
That's like that's like getting a guy. That's like getting a football EU caster to cast the Super Bowl. Would you do that? That would make no sense. You know? And then let me go over this comment, because this guy is fucking retarded. I'll break it down. I'll break it down for all you guys. Don't worry, I got you. How am I objectively wrong? What the fuck is he talking about? What are you talking about?
Hey.
Lies. So this is my thing here. Okay. You would want the best casters representing the team. That way there's no misinformation, messed up narratives. Remember, guys, this is the World Championship. This is stuff people remember forever, whether you remember it as how it happened, or if you remember it based off of what the casters have been bringing up. So if you have casters there that really haven't watched these guys play all year, or have been that connected with the players, they're just not going to be putting up the best effort that you would need for these players to be represented properly. Exactly. I'm not saying they're going to do a bad job. I'm not saying that. But the problem here is, like, why not just keep Atlas around? Why not keep Atlas around? You know, I think a combination of Azale, Freak, and Kadril. I think Kadril is great. Kadril's great announced. Kadril's fucking amazing. But he's not gonna fucking really know the ins and outs of these teams, because when you watch these games live in the LCK, like we do with the LCS, like we do with all the regions, right?
Yeah.
We have a better understanding of them, right?
Yeah.
So these LCS casters, for one, they have to catch up on VODs, which is that's something decent, right? But it's much different casting the games live in front of fans and watching the picks and bans and watching these guys draft and play and do all their macro stuff. It's just, why not have the English LCK and LPL broadcasters cast the games? I just don't understand it. That is so stupid. And when people's like, well, if they're not good enough, then Riot doesn't want them there. How are they not good enough? They draw in more viewers. What to the fuck? Like, what the hell? What kind of logic is that? That's not how that works, people. I know what Riot's thinking. We'll have our LCS casters cast because they're going to be more familiar with our English audience. Most of your audience watching is probably not North American. Because we know most of the people watching in that crowd were Chinese and Korean.
Yep.
Worlds is also down 40% viewership compared to last year.
Ooh, that's
because of the time zone between North America and everywhere else around the world. And we also know that the LPL and the LCK teams literally leave last minute because they'll just scream each other, because it's much different having worlds here than having worlds in China or Korea, because you get the best practice, best solo queue in China and Korea. You just do. Why would you want to come play solo queue here? And people were like, oh, well, fake the T1 guys are in Champions queue. What kind of practice is Faker getting playing here? These players are not good. It's like, what the fuck? You know? I don't know, guys. This is stupid. Why just not having any LCK or LPL casters casting the semifinals and finals is just ridiculous. It's just, there's nothing you could say to justify it. It's just bad. If you make dumb arguments like, well, if they're not good enough, then they're not going to be there. How are they not good enough? You have to tell me that Atlas and someone like Dagda and the other guy, I forgot his name. I always forget his name. Hysterics. Let's say that they're not good enough like the other three. Get the fuck out of here. I have to watch fucking Freak talk about like a bunch of puns for like the next 3 hours. God, holy fucking shit. You know, I think the casters will be fed notes by the people that are, you know, on the LPL and LCA broadcast, but I just find it stupid. Let me see what it's gonna bring up. I found it. Okay, here we go. Found it. And this is why you don't read all the comments on YouTube, guys, because, well, your brain would end up frying. This guy said, I vehemently disagree with Monty on his entire point about LPL/LCK casters not casting the semifinals and finals. As a fan and as a viewer, not a pro player or analyst, which is what we all are. Yeah. We're all that way. I care less about the caster being 100% knowledgeable about the matchup than you're retarded. You are fucking retarded.
Oh, shit.
You are fucking dumb. Let's read what this idiot says. I care less about the caster being 100% knowledgeable about the matchup. And I care far more about how easy it is to listen and engage with the broadcast. You could do that with people who know the players, though. What sense does this make? I care less about the caster being 100% knowledgeable about the matchup. Then why are you there then? Then get what the okay. Flat out, he says, if LCK and LPL English casters were good enough, they would be casting NALCS. It's higher pay, and while NALCS may not have the better gameplay, it certainly has the better English broadcast. No, it doesn't. The LCS broadcast is not better than the LPL or the LCK one. I know you don't watch. You just prove you don't watch shit. It certainly has the better English. No, it does not. With that being said, why would they leave the A team on the bench for their biggest games of the year? Your entire 12-minute second is simply fuck. Okay, all right. Do you want to go at this? Because I'm about to. If I saw this guy, I'd choke this motherfucker.
Okay, the biggest issue is that you want people who are knowledgeable about the matchup. It makes it more, not even more fun. It makes it more. It makes it more. What's the word I'm trying to think of?
Yes, right. Okay, right here. How does NA have a better English broadcast if they pull less viewers than the LCK?
Yep.
fuck?
Like, you want people who are informative of the matchup because it makes it more entertaining to like listen to the casters. Because if the casters don't know what they're talking about, then you're going to be out of the loop. Because if you yourself don't watch the teams and the casters don't watch the team, now you're just
misrepresenting the teams, their narratives, their play style,
like
everything.
because the only thing you're going off is that individual game. That's just one sample size. You're only going off the games you saw of them, not the whole season. Like,
right. And the thing here I need to bring up is right here. This guy said it perfectly. The LCK has better English broadcast than the LCS. More entertaining casters, better games, better memes. Twitch chat going. Okay, that's just retarded. But
no. But he's not wrong about the Twitch.
He's not wrong, but yeah, it's just the more priority things are more entertaining casters and better games. So why would I want the less quality people not only not casting their region's games at World's semis and finals, which are really big, and I would take the people that are not bad, but they don't watch the LPL and LCK like that. So I'm taking inferior people, quote unquote, because they're not really inferior. They're good. Like Freakers, they're good. I'm not saying they're not good. They're perfectly fine. The problem here is that they don't watch enough of this to give me the best time watching the games.
Exactly.
And the LPL and LCK casters are good. I don't know. They're more entertaining, and there's better games, and they pull in more viewers. So all your points are done. You don't have any fucking retard. He's like, He said, explain why he's wrong. I don't. If I have to explain why you're wrong, you're dumb.
You know what people know. You know what people who are not knowledgeable in the situation. You would have me cast any of these games because I don't have enough knowledge on it. But it's like and that's the thing too. Even with the chats, the Twitch chats, but that's only Twitch because that's not YouTube. It's like you want the casters who are excited for these teams. If you get NA casters, they might not know that, I mean, of course, there'll be excited for a pentakill, but everybody's going to be excited for a pentakill. But, like, those 2-for-1s, the interactions where no one gets killed, but now you traded the jungle, the jungle advantage for the mid lane advantage. You got Faker gaining resources. He's got the wards in the right places for the Drake snipe. It's like when someone has put in time and effort into something, you want to reward them with the time and put them out the caster. You just don't put any casters just because it's more convenient. That doesn't work because
you know why they're putting NA casters. They're putting NA casters because it's just a hometown thing. They're casting in North America. The championship is in NA this year. It's like that doesn't mean shit. Like, who cares about that?
Yep, it's like you could put one NA caster as the majority of the team should be LCK casters. I mean, as long as they can speak some English. I mean, if they're and then you have one NA caster, of course, who could converse with them. Like you can put Ellie Rand in there. I don't know. Like that's what you put someone that's that's it. That can interact with the crowd as well and interact with each other. You just don't put casters in it just because. You got to put the right people. And it's like, see, now there's no point of having NA or EU casters because the other teams are left.
There's no NA or EU teams in semis there's no NA or EU teams that will be in either semis or finals. So why would I have their casters there?
Like you just put the Chinese and the Korean casters. Like
like I just vehemently disagree. Oh, they're not good enough. No, that's just bad decision making on Riot's part. Everyone knows they're good enough.
Yep.
Like, it's so dumb. It's just good God. The mindset of some of you people that'll go to fucking dick ride some of these corporations is mind blowing.
Yeah, it is.
Why do people do that? What the fuck? You're about to have games happen where the casters casting these games haven't been watching these guys all year, which is not a prerequisite, but it's gonna mean the better casting. Why would I not want the better casting?
It should be a prerequisite, but it should be something that they watch them all year because that's more. It makes it more entertaining. It makes it more knowledgeable. Because if I get a caster who has no idea what the hell's going on, and now he's just, oh yeah, this is my first time. I was like, wait, so it's your first time? What? I don't want to hear that. Yeah, like it's like
God,
you don't want to.
just I just don't get it with some people. I just don't. I just hi. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is tomorrow when I have a small little episode with Sean. We're gonna talk about the news. Actually, there's a lot of news happening. So tomorrow we're gonna have another Cloud9 podcast, and we're gonna be going over all the big news that have been going on in the 2022 offseason. So right now, if you aren't at World Semis, you're thinking about your offseason right now. And Chaz is a 100 Thieves fan, and he's got a lot to go through as well. So yeah, that's gonna be fucking crazy. So yeah, right now, I don't know what's going to happen with a lot of these NA teams. Some teams are slashing their budgets. You know, some teams are going to be restructuring. I think that people are starting to realize the NA scene is probably just going to peak out at the viewers that it is. Remember, guys, it's rumored right now that the days for the LCS are going to be shifting to potentially Wednesday and Thursday. Valorant would play on Saturday, Sunday. It looks like that Riot believes more in Valorant right now than the LCS as a product, actually.
Yeah.
FlyQuest kind of sold off the people that own FlyQuest sold it off. I think other teams are trying to sell off too. I wouldn't be surprised if other teams just started selling off. You know, I'm going to go over a good amount of this news tomorrow because I thought to myself, I could just make like 3 videos, but I could just do it in a podcast. I could just do all the news in one podcast and just go over everything, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow's Cloud9 podcast episode is going to be me covering pretty much the entirety of the 2022 League of Legends offseason as we know it right now. There's a lot that ended up happening. So yeah, I'll be doing that at like around 4 p.m. PST. So yeah, but other than that right now, just want to let you guys know about what's happening on the channel. We're just going to be doing some more content for you guys. So someone's probably going to ask, what are you guys going to do after Worlds ends? Well, we have an episode for semis, right? There's an episode for the finals. Then there's going to be the episode where we're talking about, you know, just how we felt about Worlds in general. So that's 3 episodes right there. And then you have all the news that'll end up coming out for the offseason. Because remember, guys, on November 4th or it's a Monday that happens in November. The open agency period opens. That means you'll hear a bunch of news about players getting swapped to teams. The month you can officially hear about this news is in November, but teams are already right now on social media letting people go.
November 7th, that's the day, I believe.
Right. Mm-hmm. So literally on November 7th, you will start, or even toward the beginning of November, literally the beginning of next month, you're going to start hearing about people switching teams. We're already starting to hear it now. It's just not confirmed yet. It's just rumors. But around the 7th or the 8th, it's a Monday, you're going to hear official news that day. You will hear official news that day. That'll happen, actually. We'll start to know where these players are going. You're going to have big videos coming out. Teams, going like, did this guy's change? Abadage joins Team Liquid, all that shit, So we'll have that happen, but there's many reasons I could bring up why the LCS just hasn't really gained viewers. Now, there's a big thing about it, too. It's like when the LEC was going on, they would host the LCS. So the viewers that were already watching the LEC would just transition and go watch the LCS. You're not going to have that. So now the LCS has to just grab in viewers off its own product, right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, people wanted to make changes, and I'm glad they're making a change, but is this the right change, actually? I just don't know, honestly. So what do you think, man? Do you think the LCS could gain viewers more than what they've been bringing in?
I think they can, but
the LCS performing that badly at Worlds this year, it's like, why would you This is what I told Warren and Sean a few episodes ago, and they just weren't listening. It's hard to talk to Warren and Sean sometimes. These guys be making my brain hurt, but I like them. It's just okay. So why would any casual viewer watch the LCS knowing they're the weakest out of the top 4 regions? It's the worst gameplay by far. When you could just watch LEC, who had a team sneak into the top 8. They had a team kind of sneak into the top 8. Rogue, I mean, let's be honest here, Rogue was the best Western team at Worlds this year. My own personal opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, Rogue were the best team Western team at Worlds, this year. And they had a team get into top 8. People know that LEC is weak. I'm not saying the LEC is strong, but the LEC is definitely weak. I'd much rather watch the LEC than the LCS. That's if you're asking me. I don't think there's never if I was a casual, if I'm just a casual, why would I watch LCS? Why would I not just watch the regions that have been winning Worlds, the LPL and the LCK? People would say, but their time zones doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They have more viewers. If you like a product, guys, oh my god,
it's not even time zones. Guess what? You can watch VODs.
Right.
What the time? I can't be up at 4:00 in the morning.
No one asked you. You can just watch the VODs.
No, not even that. LCK replays it twice the same day. That's how I watch that. I'll be at work.
They literally have rebroadcasts for people that can't watch it initially.
They rebroadcast it until whoever else is have their tournaments on, and then they go offline, and then they go back online like an hour after LCS is done with their stuff. It's like, dude, it's like you don't gotta be up at 4:00 in the morning. And
this is the thing, though. If people really want to watch that product, they will. They'll find a way.
Yeah,
I watch the LPL and LCK when they come on. I watch both series. I usually can stay up for about one series, and I'll just go to sleep and I watch the rest on VOD. But this thing, though, they have more viewers in a advantageously worse time slot. That means the people that do watch from the West are literally watching it out of their own free time, even though it's really out of the way to watch it. People are actively watching it out of their time zone, which is a very big time zone difference. We're talking like almost a day difference here, people. They have more viewers.
I want to say like a 12 is 12. It depends on what part of the coast you're on. If you're in Hawaii, it's about 24-hour difference. I think California is 18 hours. I know for me it's like 15. It's a big difference. Because 4:00 for us is 4 a.m. for me. It's 4 p.m. for them. I believe 4 or 5 p.m. Because don't forget the finals. They start at 8:00. It's 5:00 if you're on the West Coast because they're in San Fran. Just remember that. Like that's me. I don't think about going to the movies to watch it. I'll probably just call off that day and just stay home and watch it. Like
it's one of these things where I make time to watch the LPL and LCK.
Hell yeah!
Why would I not watch the better regions play? From a casual point of, but then James, he asked me, he was like, well, "How would a casual know that? Like they don't need to know much. The results prove it themselves."
Yeah, it's like
okay. I'll break this down. I'll break some people who don't understand. You could be a casual, not know shit about the scene, right? But the LPL and the LCK, even just this year, if you're new, have proven to people they are vastly much stronger than the West.
I do what 3 players in. I do Cloud9, LCS, 100 Cs, TSM, and I forgot the other team I do. What's the other? Oh, Team Liquid. I do those 4 teams going in. The only player of course, I do Double Lift, Jesset. I do a little bit. I do Double Lift because it's kind of like because I watch them on Twitch. It's like the only player I knew outside of the LCS was Faker. That was mostly because that was the one guy. Like every time LCS faced him, it was like a bloodbath. It was like, oh shit. It was like Double Lift talking about how like nobody in the LCS could like figure out Faker because he just each time he just got better and better. It was like it's like Double Lift said, yeah, I'm like one of the best players in the LCS history. Like he didn't say the best, he said one of the best, but it's like when it comes to Worlds, that's a whole different story. It's like, of course, casuals are going to know who they know, and then they're going to look at the game. It's like when I see the LCS gets smacked, you're like, yeah, is
Yeah,
it
even if you're a casual, if you see the LCS and LEC get beaten this hard, it's like your brain will just go like, oh yeah, LPL and LCK is better. If they're playing, then I'll just watch them. You
like
naturally are gonna watch the teams that are winning. That's just anybody's gonna think that. You're gonna want to watch the team that's winning. Why would you not? That just makes perfect sense.
like because I started thinking, what if LCS would have 4 teams and Team Liquid would have made it? Would
I
it
think
made
it
a
was
difference?
destroyed. Not really, because I know Warren brought that up too. It's like this is how I look at it. They weren't even good enough to make it that far. Like
Yeah,
Team Liquid wasn't even good enough to even get to Worlds. Actually,
yeah.
people say they were one game away. Sure, you could say that, but it's more like Team Liquid wasn't even good enough to win an LCS title this year, nor even make the finals. They didn't even make the finals of both splits.
They barely made the semifinals. What you talking about?
Yeah, like that's the problem. Like, people don't understand. It's like CLG and Team Liquid and TSM weren't even good in the LCS, and we're gonna expect them to beat these teams? Like that's some crack smoking shit right there. They couldn't even win in the LCS, which has been deemed pretty fucking bad. So they're gonna somehow win games against EDG and T1? No, no. If EG, a team that clapped 100 Thieves in Team Liquid in spring, couldn't even take a game off the LPL, how is Team Liquid going to do that? Well, people are going to say, well, don't different teams play different to each other? Sure.
Yeah, they did,
But the team that beat those teams you're talking about didn't win a game against that team. It's like some result-based analysis is more like, if the LCS is deemed weak, how would I expect the other teams that didn't even make it as far as EG, 100 Thieves, and Cloud9 to do somewhat decent? I think Warren was like, CLG, they might do better. No, they won't. EDG, CLG would get destroyed. I couldn't even beat Team Liquid when they were up 2-0. Like, what are we talking about? Like, yeah. I hate takes like that. Oh, but what if another team went instead? No, they weren't, because they weren't even good enough to make it that far in their own region. Holy shit. Team Liquid would have got completely ass fucked. Bjergsen walking on stage like a fucking hack that he is, getting fucking destroyed.
Oh, shit.
I would love to have seen Bjergsen face off against, Showmaker and have him get completely exposed. I would love to see that shit.
Yeah, and then he got people in the crowd cheering, Bjergsen retired. Just so like that. It'd be like, oh shit, damn. Like you just get, it's like, oh, you're the legend, the LCS legend gets destroyed in Worlds. I'm like, it's like fucking shit. It's like, damn. It's
one of these things where people just have super mega crack takes. I don't even call that shit hopium or copium. That's just, you're on drugs. You're just straight up on drugs. Oh, God. But we're going to be watching the LCK and the LPL battle it out to see who's going to be the 2022 World Championship winner. I think it's going to be GENG. I think they're taking it. But, could be wrong. Last year, I was technically wrong about Dam1, but they were one game away from winning. So that's just how that works. Let's see what else happening. What is Bob Chapek saying? Give me a second. Well, this is a weird take. This is from the Wall Street Journal with Bob Chapek. Yeah, guys, the show is essentially over. We're going to talk about one last thing before we head out of here, okay? So tomorrow's episode for the Cloud9 podcast, I'm going to have all the news pretty much layered out, and we're going to talk about it, okay? All right, so this is a Disney CEO Bob Chapek says, our fans and audiences put their kids to bed at night after watching Pinocchio, Dumbo, or Little Mermaid. Then they're probably not going to tune into another animated movie. They want something for them. So he's talking about Disney Plus, because Bob Chapek is really big on getting subscribers for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Disney's always been really just a family-friendly business. I mean, it's kind of always been their brand, Even their more serious stuff is still more family skewed. Even in their most serious shit. I don't really know what they can really do to make Disney Plus feel more exclusive. I mean, they have the Star Wars and MCU content on there, but outside of that, what do they really have on there? I don't know, honestly.
I bet
the library of content they have is just.
I bet said this about Disney Plus. Disney Plus is nostalgia. It's nostalgia based. Mm-hmm. What it is you everything from Disney Saturday one. I think they just put Pepper in. You gotta put Fillmore. You gotta put all the shows. Every Disney Timo Supremo. You gotta put every show that was on Disney Saturday one from 97 to 01. It's see, it's like the thing about Power Rangers. You did have a couple of Power Ranger seasons. Those Power Ranger seasons that you have, and the thing about because Wild Force is weird. You own half of it, but do you only want to have half of Wild Force? The latter half, and that's only like what 14 episodes. Like you gotta put the Power Ranger episodes that you owned, unless you sold the rights to those. Have those on there. Everything that ran on the ABC, that ran on the ABC Family, Freeform, Disney. You got to put it on there, organize it, and it's just structure it. You you put it in that system because then eventually it makes it a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier. Start doing like movies that only go there. It's like I mean you could be like movie shorts like Woody and Jesse, Save the West, but I felt like you could, instead of doing the movie Lightyear, you could have done like a bunch of different Buzz Lightyear like cartoon movies that would have just him saving the world. You could do Buzz Lightyear Star Command again. You know you know make a new season, new version of it. Put a lot of shows out there, just kid friendly. That's what Disney's always been. They never been risque. It's like, and then if you want to do the whole Fox, rated R concept, you could structure that. I think you still have 2/3 control of Hulu. Put it on Hulu, like have the show be on Hulu instead of Disney Plus. Like
Mm-hmm.
you guys have Hulu. Don't be afraid to use Hulu as an access. It's like
Mm-hmm.
because it now. Oh, that's that I yeah. Like if you don't know, they kind of wanted to make it now where you only have one password for all three different network
Mm-hmm.
streaming services: ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. That's me. They kind of want you to restructure all three of your things because eventually they're going to be all together. They're going to be like a Hulu, so like where you go and then you can click on Hulu, you can click on Disney Plus, you can click on ESPN, and you press right on, you go right to that portal. That's what it's going to be like eventually. And
Because someone said, would someone translate this? He's saying Disney Plus needs more content than just for kids, basically.
like that's you have Hulu. You gotta exercise using Hulu as a tool to get out
Yeah,
there.
because Disney's always been they need to change that narrative about them. I think it wouldn't hurt them trying to make rated R movies or going more darker with some things. I'm saying all their content needs to be like that, but
Yeah,
just kind of switching it up every once in a while is not bad. If it doesn't work out, then go back to what you were doing.
yeah,
At least you tried. You know, I didn't get what it meant first, but apparently it's to justify Disney making mature content. If so, I have to disagree because I know adults who still watched animated movies even back when I was in elementary. Example, my mom absolutely loved watching Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was a dark as fuck movie.
yeah.
People got affected.
All,
People say, what about those animated movies we used to watch? Those are dark as hell. We just didn't notice it because you were younger.
think about it, even Little Mermaid was dark. Uh, what was it Snow White? Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. Mulan's pretty dark.
Shit. Mulan, Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
The heck? Like it's like Lion King. Shit. Even Finding Nemo's dark. Like if you look at whole thing,
Also,
how
they need a bit more original programming because they have Marvel and Star Wars. They have two of the biggest IPs on their platform. That's pretty attractive, but
this is what I
able
think
to
they need
keep
to
something
do.
else, I guess.
Just to give you an idea of what I'm thinking is, they might need to shut down Disney, the channel, and look at the ratings of what's going on Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting lower each year because it's like people are getting away from cable.
Right,
It's like
right. Those ratings haven't been good in years.
think about it. Who's the last superstar that people actually know? I mean, you got Olivia Rodrigo, but it's like she's got kind of bigger off Disney than what while she was on Disney. And to think about it, another person that was a Disney star that people don't equate to Disney anymore is Jake Paul. Jake Paul started on Disney. People don't realize that there was a Disney show he did with, I believe, Olivia Rodrigo. I believe, I'm not 100% sure if it was her. They did a show back in like 2015 together. I think they were only off for like 2 seasons before they left. Like the last true megastar that came off from Disney was Zendaya. Like Zendaya / Olivia Rodrigo / Jake Paul within that same era. Before that, you got Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, because Disney just needs to start cutting costs where they need to cut costs at. And my thing is, you either shut down, you either completely take over Hulu, or you take over, or you take over, or you take down Disney Plus, or not Disney Plus, Disney Channel.
Damn, fucking hell.
Think about on Disney Plus, they can just make it a Disney Channel thing where they have all the Disney, like you make it like I got some of that Disney how things could work, but like you can make something where it's called Disney Saturday One. Everything that aired from 97 to 01, you put it right there. Oh, were you a kid in the early to mid 90s and you remember waking up every morning with your parents and watching Disney Saturday One? Right here we have Pepper Ann, Recess, Pooh Bear, so many other shows, but you know what I'm saying? Disney Channel was like right after we had ABC Kids with That's So Raven and Hannah Montana, Even Stevens, Elizabeth McGuire. Boom, right there. That's another that you. It's like you can practice. I mean, Disney Plus is doing good now, but if you package it like that, and then you got like an adult, you got kids watching Disney Plus, and then an adult guy, he sees like his mom and dad. Oh, I remember watching these cartoons as a kid. They sit down, they start watching their favorite cartoons. It's like, yeah, that's what Disney Plus is. It's like because what the fuck?
Oh, some titties.
Shit. It's like think about it. You got like damn, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Jesus Christ.
Think about it. No, you got parents that go down and watch, and they're like, they hit that nostalgia bait. You start remembering how it was being a kid in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's like that's why Power Rangers still hits to this day. That's why like certain cartoons hit like how people watch anime. How they have their favorite anime today. Like it's like people who watch Toonami, who watch Rising Sun Toonami in the Saturday mornings, like right before the cartoons will come out, and then you wake up 8 o'clock, watch Power Rangers. Disney has to start selling that this is nostalgia. Majority of the stuff is stuff that's already aired that you watch. But how about you go down memory lane? It's like if you don't work Saturday, Sunday, pretend to be a kid Saturday morning. Wake up 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Because you can just turn on all day and just like eat a bowl of cereal and just binge watch the Recess, watch Pepper Ann, watch Even Stevens, binge watch it because it's like now you go like definitely if you have no kids, you just of course you're watching it for the new stuff, but you can watch the old stuff. That's what keeps people. Like HBO Max does the same, but it's like you mostly have the HBO Max stuff. It's like, oh, okay. Once I'm done watching House of Dragon, I can go back watch Game of Thrones. And then after that, Sopranos. And you start watching Sopranos. Oh, The Wire. But you start watching The Wire. And you start watching
You think they need more content like that?
what they have to structure it better. They have to structure not towards the new people, but towards the older people who are going to be able to afford this.
Mhm.
Like because it's like think about it. Disney's popularity was from '89, like big screen was '89 to '98. TV was '97 to '01.
Uh-huh.
They was never they was never the first or second, but they was always in the best. Like Fox Kids from 95 no 93 with Power Rangers to '01. Oh no, even '02. But once they became Fox 4 Kids and they were no longer Fox Kids, like
Mhm.
that was the end of Fox. What they sold off their shares to ABC, that was the end of them. But it's like I said, the '90s was the last time it was cool to be a kid. Waking up on Saturday morning, you had the cartoons, you had the shows, you just could, be a kid for a few. Like, of course, you could be. I mean, you're always a kid, but it's like people don't realize how 9/11 changed a lot of shit for kids on the
There's a
East Coast.
there's a scene in the original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire about the Twin Towers that they took out, where they were gonna film there or some shit like that. But 9/11 happened.
They already filmed it where he was supposed to have the web between the two towers,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
and they had to cut it. It was like it was yeah. See,
God damn. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Here, I was trying to get some stuff done, which I did. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say, man, before we head out? Actually,
uh, I got it's gonna be more likely it's gonna be T1 versus GENG in the finals. If DRX wins, I'm not surprised, but honestly, at this point, I don't know what to expect. LEC got clapped, but congrats to Rogues for getting as far as they did. LCS is trash. They got smoked. Yeah, right. House of Mouse. That's another. It's like but it's like let me put it this way: if last point, if Faker wins another Worlds, Faker could retire, come to the LCS, make some money, play for 100 Cs. I don't know, man. Shit. At this point, man, fuck it. Faker, if you want to make a good $8 million, come to the 100 Cs.
he would only do that if he was literally about to retire, most likely.
No, retire. Man, you could probably get with Tina Kid or Valkyrie, or even Pokemon,
With
whatever,
Caitlyn.
man. That too, man. Shit, fuck it. Hey, make a good $8 million. You could, be the best player out of 100 Cs by far, not even close. It could be used. No, it can't be someday because no, Faker is what?
Oldest. Wait, who's she interviewing right now? Because Caitlyn dating show interviews. What the fuck is this?
Okay, let me go look what Faker is. Faker is what? No, he's not support, right?
Faker is a mid laner.
Fake. Oh, okay. Of course. Okay, of course. Mary, you can easily replace Abadage. That's not even shit, but it could be. It could be. It could be closer someday. Faker,
What if I
uh,
what if I got on her
FBI,
show?
and Core JJ. That'd be a good team.
What if
Someday,
I
closer.
what if what if I got on Caitlyn's show? Look at her. Join any Discord, join any channel in Discord, and I'll drag you in. $15 skip line and go next. $20 end interview. What if I got on there?
Yeah, right. House of Mouse, man. That's another show too. It's like if Disney knew how to just fracture shows into like, all right, like make it like a list. Would be like, oh, house, 2 Disney shows. Uh, what?
All right, guys. I'm gonna end up heading out of here. How do you join her
Yeah,
Discord? Type exclamation point for Discord. What the fuck?
shit,
How
dude.
do you do that?
I
How
ain't
do you
gonna
do
lie.
that?
I ain't gonna lie. That probably would be a good team. Someday as top, closer as juggle, faker as mid, uh, FBI as AD carry, and Core JJ as support. That'd be a good stack team. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm trying to find a way to join her Discord. There we go. Found it. All right. See you guys later. Goodbye. See you tomorrow, guys.
Peace.
Peace. Deuces. We're out.